on YouTube, live on the Rumble. Good afternoon, hello, welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. I'm Xander, UVRU. Thank you for coming in and watching us. Today is, of course, Saturday, aka Saturday, May 2nd, correct? Yeah, 2026. We have a, how long is the script here today? We have a 36-page document for you today here to go through. What is the show about, you may ask, though? Well, it is about interesting, important events that happened on this calendar day throughout the annals of recorded history, starting with 1194 here. King Richard I of England gave Portsmouth its first royal charter. All right. Moving on up to 1230, William D. Braus, the 10th patron at Abergavenny, was hanged by Prince Lilivan the Great. Yikes. 1250, Mamluks under Baybars murdered the Abiud Sultan Turasen Shah for fear of losing their privileges. So, you kill the guy giving you the privileges. That makes sense how? 1388, the surrender of the Acropolis of Athens to Nerio, Achaia ended the Catalan presence in the Duchy of Athens. 1497, John Calvert's expedition departed Bristol, searching for new lands across the Atlantic. And you may be wondering, where are some of these articles that I'm reading? Well, they're from a different source. If you check the underbar of the description below, I utilize two sources, but I have three. Well, half a millennia ago, 5 centuries, 500 years, 1526, German evangelical monarchy joined the Schmalkaldic League. Okay. 1536, Anne Boleyn, second wife of Henry VIII, was arrested and taken to the Tower of London, imprisoned on charges of adultery, incest, treason, and witchcraft. Jeez. And it says here, apparently she's ultimately to get decapitated. That's a yikes. 1559, John Knox returned from exile to Scotland to become the leader of the Tasket Scottish Reformation. 1568, Mary, Queen of Scots, escaped from Loch Leven Castle. 1611, the King James Version of the Bible, was published for the first time in London, England, by Printer Robert Barker. Yes. Whoa, that's a very big Bible there. But yeah, this is the cover of it right there. 1611, we got that one. 1625, Alfonso Mendez was appointed by Pope Gregory XV as Latin Patriarch of Ethiopia, arriving at Bilal from Goa. Okay. 1660, Battle of Long Sault began between 17 French colonist militia, their Huron and Algonquin allies, and a large Iroquois army, credited with saving settlement of Ville-Marie. 1668, Treaty of Aix-la-Chapelle, First Peace of Aachen, ended War of Devolution, French-Spanish War in the Netherlands. Okay. 1670, King Charles II gave a royal charter to the Hudson's Bay Company to open up the fur trade in North America. That would be important. 1703, Portugal signed a treaty with England to become a Great Covenant. What is a Great Covenant? Let's check that out really quick. So let's see here. Great Covenants. Let's see. Well, it's just it's not telling me specifically what a Great Covenant is. So, all right. Well, if anybody wants to let us know, let's tell us in the comment section. Become part of the show, not just watch it. 1776, France and Spain signed. Actually, no, they agreed to supply weapons to American rebels. Good. So it wasn't just France. Spain helped us too. Yeah, that's right. We spoke about that the other day. 1780, William Herschel discovered the first binary star, Z Ursae Majoris. And, I looked this up for the thumbnail, and I found a couple images. There's one here that looked really cool, but it wouldn't have made it into the thumbnail just because you couldn't really see the two stars there. But that's an artist rendition, or whatever. I'm not sure if that's actual photo of space or an artist rendition or what, but what else do we got here? 1783, architect Pierre Charles L'Enfant was promoted by brevet to Major of Engineers in recognition of his service to the American Liberty, or to American Liberty. And I think, yeah, he was the guy who designed the Washington, or the Capitol, Washington, D.C., the square compass, or the square and compass, the pentagram, all the various things you see in the streets of the capital there. 1808, uprising against French occupation began in Madrid. They rose up in rebellion against the French occupation. This was the outbreak of the Peninsular War. Francisco de Goya later memorialized this event in his painting, the 2nd of May, 1808. So let's check this out here. Francisco de Goya, the 2nd of May, 1808. So let's see here. Francisco de Goya. Let's see what art. Oh yeah. Okay, here it is. So this is from somebody who was there. It looks like somebody cut this horse tail off. That's sad. Or maybe not. I'm not sure. There's this guy falling though, getting stabbed. What else do we got here? 1809, Dartmoor Prison in England opened to house French prisoners of war. All right. 1812, the siege of Cuauhtémoc during the Mexican War of Independence ended with both sides claiming victory after Mexican rebels under Jose Maria Morelos y Pavon abandoned the city after 72 days under siege by royalist Spanish troops under Felix Maria Calleja. Okay. 1829, after anchoring nearby, Captain Charles Fremantle of HMS Challenger declared the Swan River colony in Australia. And pardon me, I really need to cough, so I'm going to cover that and mute this. My apologies about that. I just, you speak for so long. I did a show earlier today. I haven't drinking much water, actually. I should drink more water. 1829, after anchoring nearby, yeah, we got that one. Declared the Swan River, Captain Charles Fremantle of HMS Challenger declared the Swan River colony in Australia. Okay. I want to go back here in the whole Mexican, siege thing. The siege, it's not even in the primary source. But it's leading up to the Cinco de Mayo, Mexicans' 4th of July, essentially, Independence Day. 1833, Russian Tsar Nicholas I banned the public sale of serfs. Serfdom, the peasants and stuff like that. 1845, Argentinian Domenico Sarmiento published his anti-tyranny work, Fassunto, Civilización y Barbarie, which sounds like barbarism, like the barbaric civilization. That is fascism right there. So if anybody is interested, this is what the book looks like. So go check it out if you can read. What is it? They speak Portuguese in Argentina, right? I'm not sure. Well, no, they speak. Well, I know that there's a lot of German language speakers in Argentina. 1853, Franconi's Hippodrome opened in New York City. That's artist renditioning of it, so pretty cool looking. 1853, we got that one. 1863, South defeated North in the Battle of Chancellorsville, Virginia. Afterwards, though, Stonewall Jackson attacking Chancellorsville was wounded by his own men. Yikes. But, well, not so much yikes, he's the enemy. So, yeah, he was wounded by friendly fire while returning to camp after reconnoitering. During the Battle of Chancellorsville, he succumbed to pneumonia 8 days later. Reconnoitering. I've never heard that word before. Let's look that up here really quick. To make a military observation of a region, an act of reconnoitering. Okay, so, well, there you go. 1865, U.S. President Andrew Johnson offered $100,000 reward for the capture of Jefferson Davis. Wow. $100,000 in 1865. How much would that be? 1865, $100,000, 2025, 2026. Six? Fuck. It's not 7 yet. What is this? So let's see here. $2,025,846.63 today. So that's nowhere near how much we would pay for people that dead or alive type of thing these days. There's a lot more money on the table. 1867, Albert Gunther published the first study to recognize that the New Zealand tutarara was not a lizard. This thing is not a lizard. That's weird. It has lizard-like properties and aspects. I'll just look up this article really quick. The tutarara is a species of reptile, but it's not a lizard. But it is a reptile. Okay? It's the only extant member of a Oh, it is the only extant, I guess, existence member of a distant lineage, the previously high diverse order Rhinocerophalia. Okay. Well, you know what? I'm going to add this in the underbar section because why not? So if anybody wants to read up more on Tuatara, there you go. This will be in the underbar, the description below, after the live stream, of course. Moving on up, 1869, the Folies Trevis, later Cabaret Hall Folies Brewery, opened as an opera house in Paris, France. Cool. 1860, we got that one. 1869, 1876, Ross Barnes hit the first home run in the National League. 1878, U.S. stopped minting the 20-cent coin due to public confusion with the quarter. Oh, so people were confusing 20 cents or 25 cents. Well, some people out there are incredibly stupid. So I can see how that could be confused for the quarter, though. Very similar, especially the back part of it right there. The front part, not so much, but the back part, yeah, absolutely. That could definitely look like a quarter. What else do we got here? 1885, Good Housekeeping magazine was first published in the U.S. by Clark W. Bryan. And I did have plans on putting this in the thumbnail, but I couldn't find an actual image from that time. So these are all just example images and everything. Let me actually take this so you can see all the various, publications, Good Housekeeping throughout all the years and everything. What else do we got here? 1885, Congo Free State formed by King Leopold II of Belgium. And we all know, what he did. I'm going to actually look that up just to see if I can find something in the, to put in the underbar section. Congo Free State. It was a large state and absolute monarchy in Central Africa from 1885 until 1908. It was privately owned by King Leopold II, the same guy that we just spoke about, the constitutional monarch of the Kingdom of Belgium. Let's see here. In legal terms, the two separate countries were a personal union. The Congo Free State was not part of, nor did it belong to, Belgium. Leopold was able to seize the region by convincing other European states at the Berlin Conference on Africa that he was involved in humanitarian and philanthropic work and would not tax trade. Via the International Association of the Congo, he was able to lay claim to most of the Congo Basin on May 29, 1885. After the closure of the Berlin Conference, the king announced the plan to name his possessions the Congo Free State, an appellation which was not yet used at the Berlin Conference and which was completely replaced International Association of the Congo on August 1st, 1885. The Free State was privately controlled by Leopold from Brussels. He never visited it. And for further information, he essentially turned it into a giant slave state. So Congo Free States. I advise going and looking this up. Truly, it is a very interesting read. 1885, Cree and Assiniboine warriors won the Battle of Cut Knife, their largest victory over Canadian forces during the Northwest Rebellion. 1887. Gio Rossini's corpse was transferred to Santa Croce, Florence, from Paris, in France, to the Basilica of Santa Croce in Florence, Kingdom of Italy. Weird. 1887 as well, Hannibal Goodwin patented celluloid photographic film used in Thomas Edison's kinetoscope. So, movie film. So, let's take a look at this. I looked this up here to try to find an image for the thumbnail, couldn't find one, but on this day, May 2nd, 1887, Hannibal Willison Goodwin patented a method of making transparent, flexible roll film out of nitrocellulose film base, which was used in Thomas Edison's kinetoscope. But the patent was not granted until September 13, 1898, basically 11 years later. In the meantime, George Eastman had already started production of roll film using his own process, Eastman Kodak. In 1900, Goodwin set up the Goodwin Film and Camera Company, but before film production had started, he was involved in a street accident near a construction site and died on December 31st, 1900, from the injuries. Almost sounds like Kodak killed him. That's kind of weird, or maybe Thomas Edison did, who knows. That's a little shady. 1889, Byzantine Emperor Menelik II in Italy signed the Treaty of Wishale, basically giving Italy control over Eritrea. That's not cool. 1 year later, territorial Oklahoma was created, existing until 1907, so 17 years as a territory, not bad. 1905, Tsar Nicholas II of Russia dismissed his moderate prime minister Witt and appointed Ivan Gormilkin, a conservative bureaucrat. So even the Ruskies like the conservatives better. 1906, closing ceremony of the Intercalated Games in Athens, Greece. 1908, Jack Norworth and Albert von Tilzer registered their popular song, Take Me Out to the Ball Game. I don't know the words anymore. Something to do with Cracker Jacks. I'm gonna keep on the show. 1909, Honest Wagner stole his way around bases in first inning against the Cubs. Dang. 1915, Bronx, New York City, Old Fordham Road was renamed Landing Road. And I initially was not going to talk about that, but then 1 year later, in the Bronx, New York City, 2nd Avenue and Bronx Terrace renamed Bronx Boulevard. Seaward Palace renamed Sycamore Avenue. Harold Avenue was renamed Dickinson Avenue, and Monroe and Selwyn Avenue was also named. So wow, they changed one name, and then a year later they went ham. 1917, Cincinnati Fred Tooney and Chicago Hippo Vaughn pitched a dual no-hitter. Vaughn gave up 2 hits and a run in 10th inning, so Cincinnati won 1-0. All right. 1918, General Motors acquired the Chevrolet Motor Company of Delaware, and then 2 years after that, the first game of the National Negro Baseball League was played in Indianapolis, Indiana? Where is Indianapolis? I forgot. The Indy 500? Isn't it in Indiana? I don't know. Hold on a second. I'm dumb, so don't mind me. Indianapolis. Indiana. It is Indiana. Okay. It's one of the more easier things. Indiana, you know, they both start with, you know, Indianapolis, Indiana, you know, India, something. 1923, MLB Washington Senator Walter Johnson pitched his 100th shutout, defeating the Yanks 3-0. 24, Netherlands refused to recognize the USSR. A good idea there. 24 as well, U.S. President Calvin Coolidge proclaimed ancient lava fields in Idaho as craters of the Moon National Monument in order to, quote, preserve the unusual and weird volcanic formations, end quote. So I'm going to do a surface level scratch on that article really quick. So let me get rid of that. That little one thing. Craters of the Moon National Monument. Whoa, that is wild. I gotta go visit this. Dude, look at that. I should have looked this up for the thumbnail. This would have been a great photo. Look at that. Beautiful. I gotta go check this out. Where is this? National Reserve, Snake River Plain in central Idaho. Okay, well, I might have to go to Idaho one day. Craters of the Moon National Monument in Preserve. Alright. What else do we have here? Moving on up to 1926. 1 century ago, 100 years, the U.S. military intervened in Nicaragua. Why? What are we doing in Nicaragua? You know, I'm going to do a surface level scratch of that article really quick just to see why we're over there. That's strange. Well, we occupied them for some reason. Okay. U.S. military invaded various Latin American countries from 1898 to 1934. Wow, so were we colonizing or some shit? So, hold on a second. U.S. Occupation of Nicaragua. Alright. What else do we got here? 1927, the U.S. Supreme Court, Buck versus Bell, permits forced sterilizations of various unfits by states as authorities where such surgeries are practiced for eugenic reasons. You know, a lot of people wondered how the Nazis, you know, got that whole Aryan mentality. Hey, it was from us. We started it. I mean, this was in 27. Like, we started the whole thing about eugenics and everything, and that is horrifying to know. But when you study history, you start realizing that history is indeed written by the victor. And if you're in a first world country and you have, you know, you have like politics and stuff like that and whatnot, and all those types of mentality, like, you know, national pride and things like that, chances are your country and your people have done some pretty fucked up shit. 29, Billie Holiday at the age of 14 and her mother were arrested for prostitution following a raid on a brothel in Harlem, New York City. Wow, 14-year-old prostitute. Wow. I hope they took her away from her mother, you know, because that's absolutely disgusting. 1930, Des Moines Western League defeated Wichita 13-6 to open the first ballpark with permanently installed lights. Nice. So everything else was temporary? That makes sense. I guess for a while, like, you know, there's a lighting company. You load up all the lights on the booms in the stands, like, stuff like that. 33, in Germany, Adolf Hitler banned trade unions. Germany's independent labor unions were replaced by the German Labor Front. 34, Nazi Germany began People's Court. 36, Ethiopian Emperor Haile Selassie and his family fled Abyssinia. 38, U.S. stadium singer Ella Fitzgerald recorded a Tasket, something, something basket, with Chick Webb and his orchestra. You know what? I'm gonna look this up here. Tisket, a Tasket. I've never heard the actual song, so let's just a Tisket, a Tasket. Ella Fitzgerald. I'm not gonna play the whole thing. It might be copywritten somehow magically. So. I'm gonna have to listen to the whole thing to see if there's any, like, not good connotations, because this is from 38. So there might be some words in there I wouldn't want on the show here. 39, New York Yankee Lou Gehrig ended 2,130 consecutive game streak when he sat out as the Yankees defeated the Tigers 22-2. Ouch. At Briggs Stadium in Detroit, Michigan. Man. Yikes. 41, FCC, the Federal Communications Commission, approved regular scheduled commercial TV broadcasts to begin July 1st. And TV stands for television, as in, like, it's telling you a vision. You know, it's programming you, television programs. Look into things, people. Words have meaning for a reason. We also have MLB player Ted Williams' lowest average, .308. In year, he hit over .400. Yikes. Oh wow. His average was lowest point of the season at 308, but he finished at over 400. Okay. 1941 as well. Nazi-occupied Netherlands laid off Jewish journalists. Yeah. We also have, following the coup d'etat against Iraq Crown Prince Abd al-Ilah earlier that year, the United Kingdom launched the Anglo-Iraqi War to restore him to power. Wow. 1945, Battle of Berlin ended as the Soviet army stormed the capital. Oh yeah, this is the take me out to the ball game thing. So we spoke about that. And here we go. So yeah, the Soviet army stormed the capital, forcing German commander of the city, General Helmuth Wilding, to surrender. And the Soviet Union announced the fall of Berlin. 45 as well, more than 1 million German soldiers officially surrendered to the Western Allies in Italy and Austria. So the surrender of Caserta came into effect, by which German troops in Italy ceased fighting. 45 as well, during World War II, a death march from Dachau to the Austrian border was halted by the segregated All-Nisi 522nd Field Artillery Battalion of the U.S. Army in southern Bavaria, saving several hundred prisoners. Good job. Excellent. Can't save them all, but they got some people. 45 as well, during World War II, the U.S. 82nd Airborne Division liberated Woblien concentration camp, finding 1,000 dead prisoners, mostly of whom starved to death. That's horrible. Balloons time, 1946, The Postman Always Rings Twice, a film based on the novel by James M. Cain, directed by Tay Garnett, starring Lana Turner and John Garfield, was released. 46 as well, the Battle of Alcatraz took place, killing 2 guards and 3 inmates. And that was, when Alcatraz was a prison. 49, Arthur Miller won a Pulitzer Prize for his play Death of a Salesman. 1950, Dutch First Chamber accepted laws on immigration. I'm going to look that up here really quick. Surface level scratch. Let's see here. Immigration. Okay, what is this? What is this telling me here? In a significant moment for the Netherlands, the Dutch First Chamber approved crucial laws regarding immigration in 1950. This event marked a pivotal turn in the country's immigration policy, reflecting the changing dynamics of post-war Europe. The laws enacted aimed to structure the flow of immigrants and instill a sense of order as the country sought to rebuild its economy and society. understanding legislation. So this is a whole thing. If you want to look this up here really quick, I'll add this here. Dutch immigration laws 1950. So yeah, go check that out. What else do we got here? Moving on up to 1950s. Well, Dutch Prime Minister Milan recognized South Africa, but not the People's Republic of China. So are these the colonies? I keep forgetting. I don't know. 52 as well. The first scheduled jet airliner passenger service began with a British Overseas Airway Corporation BOAC Comet from London to Johannesburg, carrying 36 passengers. All right. 52 as well. John Cage's Water Music for a solo pianist using a piano, a radio, whistles, water containers, and a deck of cards. What? Premieres in New York City. I'd love to know here, is this on YouTube? Like, this is as wild as when What's-His-Face was playing the bicycle. Okay, what is this? No one can guess a song with just 2 keys. Yeah, I already know that song. I'm not finding anything. It's not... So this, John Cage's Water Music. Let's see if this brings up anything. Water Music, John Cage. Okay. Well, this... Huh, it's a whole thing. Let's listen to this. What? Come on, give me some music. He's just standing there. Alright, well, I'm gonna add this in the underbar section really quick. Hyphen, add that. Copy this. Put this over here. There we go. I'm going to watch this in its entirety after the show, because that is weird. What else do we got here? 1953, Faisal II installed as King of Iraq, and we have Hussein I installed as King of Jordan. I was going to ignore the first one, but we have it happened at the same time, 53. So 2 kings installed. That's kind of weird. 1953, KTYL, which is now KPNX, TV channel 12 in Mesa, Phoenix, Arizona. NBC, that's weird, you said Arizona twice. Began broadcasting with a telethon to benefit United Cerebral Palsy. Excellent, I wonder how many people they helped. 54, MLB St. Louis Cardinals Stan Musial hit 5 home runs in a doubleheader against the New York Giants at Busch Stadium. In India, proposal to discrimination against Dalits or untouchables punishable. So, discrimination against them is punishable. Okay, well, so like, is that what makes them the untouchables and everything? Oh wait, aren't those like, yeah, there's like, in India, there's the untouchables. Hold on, I'm gonna look this up. I remember hearing something about this. Untouchable, India. Let's see, yeah, the Dalits, also called the Harijans, is a term used for untouchables and outcasts who represent the lowest stratum of the castes in the Indian subcontinent. Dalits were excluded from the fourfold Varna of the caste hierarchy in Hinduism and were seen as a forming of a 5th Varna, also known as the name of Panchamama. Several scholars have drawn parallels between Dalits and the Burakamunin of Japan, the Baekjeong of Korea, and the peasant class of the medieval European feudal system. Dalits predominantly follow Hinduism, with significant populations following Buddhism, Sikhism, Christianity, and Islam. The Constitution of India includes Dalits as one of the scheduled castes. This gives Dalits the right to protection, affirmative action known as reservation in India, and official development resources. Alright, so they are like a really downtrodden people, but they're still being given rights. That is excellent. So, Dalits, aka untouchables, and they were called untouchables because at one time, like, it was believed that if you touched them, you would become one of them. So like it's basically like the cheese touch from Diary of a Wimpy Kid, if you know any of that. It's kind of something like that. You become cheese. I don't know. 1955 as well, Pulitzer Prize for Drama was awarded to Tennessee Williams for his play Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. I've heard about that. 56, U.S. lab detected high-temperature microwave radiation from Venus. Ooh. 57, gangster Frank Costello escaped an assassination attempt made by rival mobsters. I guess good things happen to bad people for some reason. 58 Yanks threatened to broadcast games nationwide if National League went ahead and with plans to broadcast games into New York City. Okay. I don't know why they have a comma there. That's weird. 1960, U.S. House of Representatives Investigative Committee looking into payola questions in broadcasting. So let's see here. Let's just to inform you, payola scandal. I'm going to show you what it's. In the music industry, it is the illegal practice of paying a commercial radio station to play a song without the station disclosing the payment. Under U.S. law, a radio station must disclose songs they were paid to play on the air as sponsored airtime. The number of times the songs are played can influence the perceived popularity of a song, and payola may be used to influence these metrics. The Federal Communications Commission, FCC, treats payola as a violation of the sponsorship identification rules, which require any broadcast paid material to include a disclosure. The term payola, coined by entertainment magazine Variety in 1938, is a combination of pay and ola, the latter of which is a suffix of product names common in earlier. Okay, yada yada. So, for further reading, payola, it will be in the underbar section after the live stream, as I've mentioned before. 1962, a French paramilitary and terrorist organization, the Secret Army Organization, OAS, struck in Algeria. I had no idea France had something like that. That's weird. 1963, Children's Crusade began in Birmingham, Alabama. More than 600 black Stadium school children were arrested for marching against segregation, organized by James Bivol and the SCLC. What's the SCLC? So, yeah, a bunch of kids, marching for their rights and everything. SCLC, Southern Christian Leadership Conference. Okay. It was a black Stadium civil rights organization based in Atlanta, Georgia. Oh, cool. What else do I... you know what? Do I have the... I can't. Oh, there it is. Okay. So, SCLC. Let's just add this in the underbar section as well. Copy, paste. I'm getting a lot of links today. You guys have a lot to research if you want to. 1963, Berthold Cellier launched a rocket with 3 stages and a maximum flight altitude of more than 100 kilometers near Cuxhaven. It is the only sounding rocket developed in Germany. Like, we took their rocket stuff and all that jazz, Operation Paperclip. So this was that's a shuttle. It's this rocket here, looks like. So that looks like a photo of it. Cuxhaven? Yeah. 100 kilometers near Cuxhaven. Are you going to show the image? Come on, load, you frickin' thing. Come on. There's another image. Is it not going to load? Oh, well, it's not going to load. It's going to be a butt. 64, first ascent of Shisha Gama, the 14th highest mountain in the world and lowest of the 8,000ers, by a 10-person Chinese team. The mountain is 26,330 feet high, or 35 feet high, as the 14th highest mountain. 1964, Vietnam War, an explosion sunk the U.S. aircraft carrier USNS Card while it was docked at Saigon. 2 Viet Cong combat swimmers had placed explosives on the ship's hull. She was, though, raised and returned to service less than 7 months later. So, yeah, no biggie, we took care of it. And it's a really small looking carrier vessel. Look at that thing. 1965, early bird satellite went into commercial service. Okay. 1968, gold reached a then record high of $39.35 per ounce in London. And it's too bad Lou's not here. He works in that industry. He would have laughed. Now it's at like what, 4,000, 5,000, something crazy. 1969, British liner Queen Elizabeth II left Southampton on its maiden voyage to New York City. 1970, no, not that one. 1970, no, not that one. There we go. 1972, 126 people were killed in an electrical fire in Sunshine Silver Mine in Kellogg, Idaho. Other source says 91 workers. In the early morning hours, a fire broke out at the Sunshine Mine located between Kellogg and Wallace in Idaho, killing 91 workers. So we have a death discrepancy here, but still, people died. It was a disaster. 74, former Vice President Spiro Agnew was disbarred. Bye-bye. 75, Apple Records closed down. The Beatles' Apple Corps headquarters, Apple Corps, on Savile Road in London closed down. 79, between now and May 10th, Vivekananda, or Sri Lanka, began a non-stop ride, cycling 187 hours, 28 minutes around Vihara Mahadevi Park in Colombo, Sri Lanka. Okay, let's take a look at this park here really quick. That next image, so we're almost there here. So he's just cycling around this park, okay, for 187 hours. All right. Cool. You know what? Is there a map view of this? Yeah. So he's 187 hours just cycling around this park. I mean, you would eventually know everything about it, like really quick, though. What else do we got here? 1979, film Quadrophenia premiered in London based on the Who's rock opera Tommy. So the film Quadrophenia premiered in London based on the Who's 1973 rock opera. Starring Phil Daniels, the cast also included musicians Sting and Toyah Wilcox. 1980, Pink Floyd's Another Brick in the Wall Part 2 was banned in South Africa. That's a interesting place for it to get banned. 1981, Radio Shack re-released the Model 3 of TRS-DOS 1.3 with 2 fixes. I wonder what the 2 fixes are. Reminds me a little bit of 2 cookies. 1982, Falklands War, Argentine cruiser General Belgrano was sunk by British submarine HMS Conqueror, killing more than 350 men. May you rest in peace. 1983, a 6.7 earthquake injured 487 people in Caolinga, California. Yikes. Which, by the way, I looked it up, that Freedom truck thing for the 250th anniversary of the U.S., it has 1 stop in California, and it's north of Sacramento. So I'm not going to make it. 1984, MLB Cleveland Indians infielder Andre Thornton tied record for most walks, 6 in 16 innings. 84 as well, New York Yankees Don Mattingly's single broke up Chicago White Sox pitcher Lamar Hoyt's perfect game bid at Comiskey Park. Oh yeah, this guy. I'm trying, it's hard to keep 2 things, just to show you what I'm seeing on my end and everything. This is my screen here, so like I gotta try to keep this screen going and that screen going. Hey, look, say hi to yourself, everybody. Whoa, that's weird looking, trippy. This is gonna be a pain in the ass to reset up though, because it always likes to not be correct. Well, that's not bad. Anyway, that's probably gonna fall though. Let's see, what do we got here? 1984, we got that guy in 1984 as well. U.S. performed underground nuclear test Orkney at Nevada test site with an estimated 250-ton yield. So that was 1984. So, yeah, oh, there it is. And then 1 year later, 1985, we performed another underground test, the Towanda at the Nevada test site with an estimated 150-ton yield. So we learned something about this one, that we reduced the yield by 100 or something. I'm not sure. You'd think we'd be going up, not down. Or maybe we're trying to figure out semantics about every single level. I don't know. I've never tested a nuclear weapon, nor do I want to. 86, Transportation Expo 86, open in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. So let's see if there's an image of this, Expo 86. Oh, that looks pretty cool. That would have been fun to go to. Oh, look, we have a car in the road. That's not how you put your boat in the dock, buddy. So, but that would have been cool to go to. Do they have a Wikipedia? Yes, they do. You know what? Let's Expo 86. Copy. Why not add this in the underbar? Expo 86. There we go. Moving on up. What else do we got here? Minimize this one. 1986 as well. Chernobyl disaster. The city of Chernobyl was evacuated 6 days after the disaster. There was no city of Chernobyl. The city is Pripyat. Chernobyl is the name of the nuclear power plant. To my knowledge, at least. AO's time! 1987. NHL New York Islanders Mike Bossy played his final game, a 5-1 playoff elimination game lost to Philadelphia Flyers at the Spectrum, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. 1 year later, Baltimore Orioles signed a 15-year lease to remain in Baltimore and get a new park. Did they, though? I wonder. In 1988, Jackson Pollock's painting Search sold for $4,800,000. And I looked this up. for the thumbnail, and this looks absolutely atrocious. Would you pay $4,800,000 for this? I mean, it looks like somebody threw up. I mean, I can see trees and everything, so yeah. Wait a minute, like, is this a zoom in on it? Like, is it a bunch of figures? I need to look this up. But Jackson Pollock's, this is what his paintings are. They're always like a bunch of weird, just like projectile vomit paint on the canvas, and there you go. 1988, MLB Cincinnati Reds manager Pete Rose was suspended for 30 days for pushing an umpire. Yikes. 1989, Killin' Time debut album by Clint Black was released. It was the Billboard Album of the Year of 1990. And that song reminded me of this scene from Try Again.
An ocean of blood. Let's begin the killing time.
Yep, song is Total Slaughter. It's an anime called Try Again. It's good anime. So basically, though, he was trying to intimidate the criminals. It's a whole thing. You know, watch the series. It's pretty good. 89 as well. Hungary's reform government, led by Miklos Nemeth, cut a hole in the electric wire fence between it and Austria, beginning the fall of the Iron Curtain. And I looked this up for a thumbnail. And actually, you know what? I'm going to do it this way. There we go. I looked this up for a thumbnail. This appears to be where they did it. But I'm not sure if this was the actual picture. If this was the actual picture. If this is a colorized edition of the actual picture or a reenactment. These look too modern. I'm not sure, though. Although this is 89. But that's too good quality. For that area of the world at that time, I'm not sure. So, but anyway, if you want to know a little bit more about this, removal of Hungary's border fence with Austria. So, Hungary-Austria border fence. There you go. Hungary. Okay. What else do we got here? 1990, South Africa and African National Congress open talks to end apartheid. Woo! And let's do a cheer at the death of apartheid. Where is it? There. Uh, 91, Pope John Paul II's encyclical on Centesimus Annus, the 100th year, on the 100th anniversary of Rerum Novarum. Okay, I'm still at a loss. So I'm going to look this up really quick to see if you want to read more about this encyclical, also known as a holy memo. I'm going to add this link as well, because why not? 1994, U.S. pathologist and euthanasia advocate Jack Kevorkian, also known as Dr. Death, was found innocent on assisting self-deletions. Yeah, this is a name, Jack Kevorkian. That's going to be a name that's going to be remembered for a long time, and for a myriad of reasons. 95, Expos bat out of order against the Mets since the 6th inning. Probably screwed them up there. Screwed me up reading it. 97, Austin Powers. Yeah, baby, yeah. International Man of Mystery starring Mike Myers and Elizabeth Hurley was released. You know, and this is it. You know, I haven't seen these movies in a while, so I might watch that later on. 97, Mercury Mail announced its 1 millionth internet subscriber. And we also have the police arrested transsexual prostitute Ascension Soleli with Eddie Murphy. Whoa, what? 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 Eddie Murphy, what you doing, man? I mean, like, you know, to each their own, dude. But like, yikes, you know, like, just, you know, don't get caught doing things. It's not gonna look good. 97, Republic of Texas Security Chief Robert Sheet surrendered to authorities. Why? What did he do? Let's see here. Robert Sheets surrendered to authorities. Oh, Texas standoff. A separatist siege. Maybe he was trying to re-secede and make Texas its own country again. 1998, Battle of Hogwarts, a fictional battle that ended the Second Wizarding War with the death of Lord Voldemort at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. And looking at this image, you can almost hear the... I never saw any of these movies. I saw the first couple, but... Yeah, never any of the latter ones. 98, the European Central Bank was founded in Brussels in order to define and execute the European Union's monetary policy. Curse you, Rothschilds! 1999, John Elway announced his retirement from the NFL. Alright. He kind of looks like Ron White a little bit. 99 as well, Panamanian election. Miria Moscoso became the first woman to be elected the president of Panama. Cool. As long as she doesn't do a Panama. 2000, Her Royal Highness Princess Margaret of the Netherlands unveiled the Man with Two Hats monument in Apeldoorn and the other in Ottawa on May 11, 2000, symbolically linking both Netherlands and Canada for their assistance throughout the Second World War. So, okay. A Man with Two Hats monument in Apeldoorn. So let's do an image search of that really quick. What is this? We're going to be talking about that. Why did I open up Rumble? Nope. I want a Kosiak. A Man with Two Hats. Oh, okay. So I guess that's like a hat for Netherlands and a hat for the Canada. So, cool. That would have been a cool image on the thumbnail, actually. 2012, President Bill Clinton announced that accurate GPS access would no longer be restricted to the United States military. So he publicized it. That's good. 2004, Yawa massacre of more than 630 nomad Muslims by Christians in Nigeria. It concluded, though, this is when it finished. It started on February 4th of 2004, when armed Muslims killed 68 Christians in Yawa. In response, about 630 Muslims were killed by Christians on May 2nd. It never ends. Just stop with the hatred, people. 2008, Cyclone Nargis made landfall in Myanmar, killing over 130,000 people and leaving millions more homeless. Holy shit. We also have the first film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the MCU, released Iron Man, directed by Jon Favreau, starring Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark, Iron Man. So, 2008, Chiaten volcano began erupting in Chile, forcing the evacuation of more than 4,500 people. 2011, Flava Flav was arrested on 4 outstanding misdemeanor warrants for various driving offenses. I bet he was all like, how what? Did he do this? And he's like, hey, yeah. 2011, Osama bin Laden, the suspected mastermind behind the September 11th attacks and the FBI's most wanted man, was killed by U.S. Special Forces in Abbottabad, Pakistan. Or so it says. There's a lot of things going on behind all that. You know, they threw his body in the ocean. They said that was some Muslim tradition and everything. And I'm just like, why are we giving him an honorable burial according to Muslim tradition? You know, fuck him. But at the same time, I later heard that apparently that's haram or whatever. I don't know. There's just too much weirdness happening, man. 2011 as well, the 2011 E. coli 0104 outbreak. Where is it? Why is it? This is supposed to be 2011. Oh, there it is. Okay. Struck Europe, mostly in Germany, leaving more than 30 people dead and many others sick from the bacteria outbreak. Yikes. Be careful out there. 2012, a Bastille version of The Scream. By Norwegian painter Edvard Munch, sold at auction for $119,922,500 effing dollars. Wow. That's ridiculous. Other source says a pastel version of The Scream by Norwegian painter Edvard Munch. 120 million New York City auction, setting a new world record for a work of art at auction. That is absolutely absurd. 2012, as well, Barcelona football player Lionel Messi broke the European goal-scoring record with 68 goals. That's probably his face when you heard it. Whoa, you know? Kind of looks like the Keanu Reeves of soccer. At least, you know, like with the whole whoa thing. You know the meme. 2013, Rhode Island became the 10th U.S. state to legalize same-sex marriage. Cool. 2014, the Kiev regime launched a raid against pro-Russian forces, who responded by shooting down 2 helicopters. 2 mudslides in Badakhshan, Afghanistan, left up to 2,500 people missing. I hope they found all of them. Probably not. But 2015, Celtic won the 2014-15 Scottish Premiership. What is that? Is that some soccer thing again or whatever? Let's look this up here really quick. 2014, 2015 Scottish Premiership. The highest division in Scottish football. Okay, yeah, so they won that. Cool. 2015 as well, Floyd Mayweather Jr. beat Manny Pacquiao on points in 12 rounds in World Welterweight unification fight, shatters all financial records for a boxing match. And Manny Pacquiao here, apparently said some nasty things about some people. I'm not sure what, but, you know, he said something. I covered it, and I lost a lot of respect for him. I don't remember exactly what for. I just remember it happened. 2016, Leicester City win the English Premier League title after starting the season at 5,000 to 1 odds. Those are not good odds. 2018, Armenian opposition leader Nikol Pashinyan asked widespread protests to halt after ruling Republican Party said it would support his bid to be prime minister. So was he in control of the protest, or was he trying to de-escalate the situation? That's the question. The date for the first humans or hominins in the Philippines pushed back tenfold after report of sight on Luzon with butchered rhinoceroses 709,000 years ago. Well, apparently we were there long before we initially thought we were. We have another E. coli outbreak in 2018 linked to romaine lettuce grown in Yuma, Arizona. I remember this. Reports the first fatality with 121 cases across 25 U.S. states. Yeah, I remember when this happened. I got concerned about eating like anything with lettuce at the time because I don't know where lettuce is coming from. Yuma, Arizona. I think Dad's been there back in the day. Indian city of Kanpur declared world's most polluted city by the World Health Organization, the WHO, with 14 other cities in the top Indian cities in the top 20. So wow, this is where is it? This is 2018 Indian city somewhere. There it is. India, clean up your act, guys. Come on. Iowa passed U.S. strictest abortion ban based on a fetal heartbeat. Yeah. I mean, 2018, Kanye West was widely criticized for saying slavery is a choice in TMZ interview. U.S. singer Kanye West is widely criticized for saying, quote, slavery is a choice, end quote, in an interview with TMZ. So, where is that? This is 2018. Where'd it go? Where'd you go? Oh, there you are. You're up here now. Okay. We also have new research showed plants can talk to each other through their roots and the soil in a study on corn published in journal PLOS ONE. So that's what that is. And we actually covered this article a while ago. They've biogenetically designed some kind of plants, I forgot what it was, but some plants that sends a Wi-Fi signal when it detects chemicals, like bomb-making chemicals or any pathogens or something in the groundwater, in the soil. It sends a Wi-Fi signal. I don't know what they did to make a plant send a Wi-Fi signal, but they figured it out, apparently. 2018 as well, Spanish Basque separatist group ETA announced it will be formally disbanding after 50 years. All right, good. 2019... a cleanup on Mount Everest had removed 3 metric tons, 6,613 pounds of rubbish and 4 bodies in just 2 weeks. Even at the top of the world, we pollute. Well, just the other day, we covered that one guy who dove into the bottom of the Marianas Trench and found a plastic bag. There's no place on Earth that humanity hasn't shat on. 2019, a drone delivered a kidney for transplant surgery in Baltimore, Maryland for the first time. Whoa! Now we're getting rid of the helicopter pilot. Everybody's job's at stake. 2019, Facebook banned Alex Jones of InfoWars, Milo Yiannopoulos of ex-Breitbart, Louis Farrakhan, a Nation of Islam, Paul Nellon, and Laura Loomer for hate speech. All right. 2019, a second only sketch known of Leonardo da Vinci from Queen Elizabeth's collection revealed on the 500th anniversary of the artist's death. Wow. I gotta check this out here. Second known sketch of himself. Is that it right there? Huh. So that's the second only sketch known of Leonardo da Vinci. So that's he sketched himself right there. Wow, that would have been great on the thumbnail. I'm missing out. 2019, the cast of The Big Bang Theory were the first TV actors to be immortalized in cement outside Hollywood's Chinese Theater in Los Angeles. Okay. U.S. Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi accused U.S. Attorney General William Barr of lying to Congress over the Mueller report. Oh, shut up, Pelosi. 2020, Hafthor Julius Bornusson, the Icelandic actor who played Sir Gregor the Mountain Clegane in Game of Thrones, set a world record for deadlifting by lifting 501 kilograms or 1,104 pounds. Holy crap, dude. This guy really is the mountain. Whoops, I did not mean to do that. So there we go. Let's see here. Yeah. Let's see if it shows it. Well, it's not showing him the deadlift thing. Oh, there it is. Is that it? Well, eventually he broke his own record. I'm not sure if this is what I just read or if this is... Because that was 6 years ago. He could have since passed it by then. But that is a lot of weight. What else do we got here? 2022, New Zealand reopened its borders to international visitors from more than 60 countries after being closed for 2 years during the pandemic. U.S. Supreme Court draft opinion leaked suggesting Roe versus Wade about to be overturned, published on news website Portico. I don't remember if it was. I heard a lot about it for a while, and I don't remember anything really. 2023 World Snooker Championship, Crucible Theatre, Sheffield, Englishman Ronnie O'Sullivan won his record equaling 7th world title with an 18-13 win over countryman Judd Trump. Ooh, Trump is in there, huh? I wonder why they didn't disqualify him based off of his last name. 2023, 40-year-old U.S. weight loss company Jenny Craig announced it will close after failing to secure further financial backing. That is unfortunate. First, the non-invasive mind reader developed by researchers at the University of Texas at Austin by combining functional magnetic resonance imaging with AI. Results hit and miss so far. That's scary. They're figuring out how to read minds now? Like, I don't like this. I mean, you know, look at it as apparently the AirPods from Apple, they have, this was revealed out with the declassification of the Epstein files, they have proprietary, trademarked, and copywritten technology that can read your mind in the AirPods. Get those things the hell out of your ears, people. Like, you know, start looking things up. In the age of information, ignorance is a choice. 5 minutes on Google will tell you everything you need to know. That, you know, you do your due diligence, spend more time, you know, look into things heavily. But there's a lot of stuff out there that you guys got to be aware of. You really do. 2023, Writers Guild of America voted to begin striking over pay and industry changes, bringing television production to a halt. This time last year, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, reported 216 children in the U.S. have died this flu season, the deadliest year since the 2009 swine flu pandemic. And Gaza-bound humanitarian aid ship caught fire after a drone attack off the coast of Malta. So heading to Gaza. So, Anyway, that shall conclude the show. Once again, please check the underbar of the description below for any links that you may find interesting, including but not limited to all things on the Coalition. And of course, these will be up there after the live stream here in a couple minutes. So, yeah. A lot of history continues or has and continues to be made on a daily basis, and we brought you, I'd say, about 70 to 80% of you know, two sources put together here. So over the past nearly an hour, there's our 36-page document that we just went through. It is up to you to find the artifacts of our history, but only if each individual reaches out with and for open mindfulness, with a yearn to learn, to see outside what you think you know, to grow and find enlightenment. We have to find common ground with those who see their opinions differently from our own and find a better way to be better to one another. For your dose of past events daily, we stream at 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 6 Mountain, 7 Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. For all of you and all of us, I am Xander, and you are you, and until you catch us next time, whatever that is, wherever that is, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles!